Yeah, it was the greatest song ever made.
was just
besides
trying-
Donna Lewis. I love you, always, forever, near and far, closer together, everywhere. I will be with you, everything. I will be for you. Say you'll always love me forever, never stop, never whatever, near and far and always and everywhere and every. Say you'll always love me forever, never stop, never whatever, near and far and always and everywhere and everything. Greatest song ever made. I literally have a mixtape called The Ultimate Playlist, and it is that song 85 times in a playlist.
And would you take that song with you to Everest? Apparently not.
I guess not. Can't believe it.
Man.
Donna Lewis, bro.
You sang the entire thing and
No,
never
not
once
the whole
looked on the internet for a word.
No.
You
I don't
knew
know.
all the words.
I know a good portion of it. And I have a dance I do
You
with
know
it.
the best portion of it.
Let me tell you this, Neil.
Please do.
I don't get embarrassed super easy in public. I'll do stuff.
I would say I've never seen you embarrassed in public.
Okay, cool. If that song comes on, I don't care where I am. I have a dance that I do to it where I like put my hands down, out, up, in. It's this whole thing I do. I close my eyes, I sing it. I will do it. I don't care if I'm in a restaurant. I don't care if I'm in a Foot Locker.
Who
I don't
sings
care.
it? Wow. Okay.
Donna Lewis.
Okay.
The greatest artist. I have more followers than her on Instagram, by the way.
Wow. Maybe you could help promote Donna Lewis a little bit more and she could have more followers.
I tagged her like 8 times for
Yeah,
over like a 2-week period.
She's not looking a whole lot.
She didn't hit me back.
Really?
And I said, Donna, hear me out.
Sama Donna.
Samadana. Samadana.
This took a turn. I didn't know we were going there.
Well, we're talking about
very
something I'm excited, but you're hyped about Everest. I'm hyped about the Lonely Island.
What are we talking about?
The Lonely Island.
You guys.
The greatest comedy trio in the history of the world.
Yeah, there have been duos that are great.
Yeah.
There have been Quentin
Tarantinos.
Quentin Tarantinos for sure. There's been Denny Hopper's.
Quintuplets.
There's been, but this is the greatest trio. And
No,
you're
no.
telling me this is better than Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Chevy Chase?
Yes.
Wow. I think I might concur. I would
know.
say the others are iconic, but these guys are.
Well, they're an all-in-one
They're classic.
package. Like, here's the deal.
Yeah, you
Name
don't
a more comprehensive package. They act, they sing, they write, they edit, like if they need to. You know, everybody tries to hire an editor first because it's the worst part of the process.
Yeah, nobody likes that.
Nobody likes editing. And so, there you go. Yeah. Name them one. Name it.
Well,
Name it.
Belle Biv DeVoe.
Okay, not even a real person.
Well,
Next.
Run DMC.
Okay, they definitely don't edit.
Boys to Men.
You know, Rev Run signed my Rob Bell book once.
What?
Yeah,
that
I was
makes
at a conference.
That makes no. You had a what? And you had.
I was at a conference and he was doing autographs and I was in line. I didn't have anything for him to sign, so I was standing there.
And you didn't have him sign like
and
your chest.
I was holding. Well, I wanted to,
Yeah,
but he
but
said,
he was
"Nah,
like,
fam. No, I'm just kidding." I got up there and I started to say like, "Hey, I did a YouTube video where I named a bunch of rapper names." And I started to talk to him. I got 4 words in. He turns, starts talking to the guy next to him, grabs the book out of my hand and signs it.
That's like what happened in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
It's exactly. He was Hitler. I was Indiana Jones. Yeah.
Wow.
I know, man.
He signed what book?
Rob Bell's Velvet Elvis. I have it.
It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't matter. That's what he signed.
Wow. You just took the value of that book.
To the moon. It's Dogecoin.
Moonfall.
Yeah. And the moonfall. Man, if you guys don't listen to other podcasts.
Yeah. And actually, I would ask you this. Why are you listening?
Why are you here?
Podcast? You want us to do another one so you can have them 3 days a week?
You want us to dance
We'll
for you
do it.
like clowns?
We'll do it.
Okay.
I want to.
I was
going to.
I was acting like I wouldn't, but you said I would.
Well, remember, this is the art of improv. It's always yes.
Yes, and give us money.
Yes and amen. Oh, yes, and give us money. Okay.
Patreon.com/money. Money daddy.
All right, we're talking about Lonely Island, and they've done a lot of music. Somebody else has done a lot of music.
Joseph Tilley.
He has.
Joseph has been stepping up even more on TikTok, and I hope he pops off. He's great.
Seriously, please do. Lord, let it happen.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the Tyler and Neil Explain Everything podcast. Now officially your 4th favorite podcast. Hit the subscribe button and make sure you go to patreon.com/explain everything to get exclusive episodes. Looks like we made it.
Yes, it does. Hey, if we were the Lonely Island, we would be 2 of them, and he would be our 3rd, right, Brian?
Naturally. Yeah. And then that would be the greatest trio ever formed.
Yeah. Brian, you would do all the talent stuff, and then Neil and I would edit. Neil would edit and plan.
I mean, we would probably hire that out.
Oh, yeah. We were rich.
With all the money that we're making.
Oh, so much money from the Patreon. Sure. Don't patronize me. Nailed
Don't
it.
patronize.
So let's talk about the Lonely Island. Like, what is the Lonely Island? Who is the Lonely Island? What is Gomorrah?
What is it? Well, okay, so you have the Aleutian Islands, you have the Hawaiian Islands, and you have the Lonely Islands.
Oh, that's so hot right now.
I would say that it's probably not going to be that.
No.
Nope.
The Lonely Island, how did they impact your life?
So do you want to know like the first time that it
Sure,
ever happened?
yes.
The very first, how they impact your life. You know, it changed my life. We saw a Dear Sister video.
What you said.
And I was like, okay, these guys, they get me.
Yeah.
They get me.
They did. It was a spinoff of an episode of The OC. You know what it was based on, right?
Yes.
So The OC was a popular TV show back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And there was an episode where Ryan's drughead brother was like beating him up, almost killed him. And so Marissa, I think it was Marissa, wasn't that her name?
Tomei?
No. Marissa, the main chick. What was it? I think it was Marissa.
I think it was.
Yeah, she shot the brother and it like did a slow-mo. What you said. Yeah. So they made a whole sketch.
It's just over and over and over.
Everybody that walks in gets shot and they read the note.
Yeah, reads the note, boom, gone. So we spoofed that for something we were doing in student ministry, and it was we would just swap it out, getting kicked in the nuts as opposed to getting shot.
Yeah.
And it was just guys.
Neil, this is a children's program. Can't say that.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
You want to edit that out?
Yeah,
we're gonna hire an editor.
Bleep that.
And we just did that over and over, and it was just like trading hits back and forth for a long time in that song.
Yeah.
And we got copyright flagged on that.
Oh, because you used the song, yeah. And it was early YouTube, so they weren't like pulling money for those people.
No, not yet.
Yeah. They pretty much every video I made on YouTube, the first 3 years I was on YouTube was a direct ripoff of the Lonely Islands.
Well worth it.
Because they were the best ones. They, in my mind, when we think of like who formed YouTube and made it what they did. Like they,
for real.
To me, like they were the quintessential YouTube for the first like 10 years.
So the word that I think of is irreverent. And that's what I love about it. It's like they're the kings of YouTube. Yeah. Yeah. I also like that you think that it's going to go one direction and then it goes they're really good at a sharp left turn.
Yep. Okay, so say their names. Who are the Lonely Island?
I know Andy
Sandberg. He's the one you see most. He was when they were in SNL and the movies. He's Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He acts a lot. The other two, like Andy will help write and stuff and do all that.
Yeah. And
the other two will also act. You'll see them in stuff. You'd see them. You'd probably know them from things, but they're more behind the screen, directing, writing. So who are the other two?
I only know first names.
Okay.
Akiva.
Schaefer. I am probably saying their names wrong. As much as I love them, I still cannot say their names correctly.
Listen, we'll do this. We'll do a clip right now, like of pronouncing their names the right way, and we'll put that on YouTube. We'll get millions of hits because there are so many video clips out there. How do you pronounce this? There's just it's a clip from somebody. Akiva, Schaefer, and then it is Jorma. But
is that how you say it?
I think that's technically
Jorma. I think's how they say it.
Yeah, it's Jorma.
Takomi.
I believe so. Tacoma.
If we say their names wrong, just know it's Akiva, Jorma, and Andy. So they are three friends who have been friends for a long time. Like they were not a TV marriage. This is not a bachelorette situation. They were not put together by producers.
Nobody got a rose?
No. They are the rose. Okay, so
touched by a rose. Okay.
It's Kiss from a Rose.
Well, whatever.
On a grave. Well, Kiss by a Rose. Batman Forever, baby.
You really do know some song lyrics.
Only from the mid-90s.
That's good.
That's when the last time I listened to music. I literally never listen to music.
You don't listen to music anymore?
No, at all.
What's the point?
I listen to rap when I check emails because it inspires me to get done with that crud. I hate emails. Hate them. First thing I'm going to hire, not an editor. I want to hire somebody to check my emails. So, and I love what I get in emails. I just hate the process. It takes so long. So whenever they started, Jorma and Akiv, they call him Keev, they met in 7th grade.
Oh, wow.
7th grade.
That's some history.
Back at Willard at junior high. They met Andy the next year. 3 became friends in like junior high school. They loved making videos, being funny together, all that. Went off to college.
You got it.
Keev and Andy, I think, were the two that went together. And then Andy went to New York for they all went to film. A couple went to film school, but they all kind of spread out then. After college, came back together. And this is like around 2000. And this is like, you're like, well, 2000, they make videos on the internet. No, it wasn't like that.
It was pre-YouTube.
Pre-YouTube, pre-easy upload.
Yeah.
Like you had to pay money if you went viral, because that means you had to pay a website to host your stuff. They started making all these videos. They just worked a regular job, and then they would just stay up all night, and they would like challenge themselves. They would be like, all right, it's midnight. Let's get a video written, shot, edited, and done by 2 a.m. And they would just like,
oh, wow.
They would hustle behind the scenes.
I love that.
Yes.
It makes you better.
Yeah, and it does. It forces you to create, not just like, we've spent 2 years making one movie. That's why they've been able to do so much.
You find out if you're good enough.
Exactly.
At that point.
Yeah, and you also learn so much from the creation we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
You learn more from actually producing than like thinking about producing.
That's pretty good.
So they just started making stuff. And the name Lonely Island, that's the name of their like little group. Yes, it's like a rap group, but it also was the show. Like it's just what they call their little trifecta is the Lonely Island. And it was named after the modest low rent apartments in Los Angeles.
For real?
Yeah, that's what they named it after.
Oh, I did not know
so
that.
They had a couple other buddies that you've maybe seen in some stuff. One that I want to mention, his name is Chester Tam. Have you seen Hot Rod?
Yes.
Greatest movie. Oh, sorry. Second greatest movie ever made.
What's the first?
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay, good.
Yeah, because I saw it with my
Still
kids.
sticking. Okay, good.
And so third is Fight Club. So second greatest movie ever made. It was the first best for a long time. Hot Rod.
Yes.
In that movie, do you remember the tall Asian man who, when they hand him the flyers to go pass out, he would just throw them and start like dancing?
Yeah.
He retweeted me once.
For real?
Yeah, I'm famous.
Is that Chester Tam?
Yeah, Chester Tam.
No way.
I'm famous. Yeah. He was asking for T-shirt quotes or something, and I said drug-free since 93, and he hearted it and retweeted it.
Man.
I'm famous.
That's great.
That's my big break.
That was just downhill after that. You're like, well, I guess I'll do this podcast.
Yes, I'll do a podcast with Neil. You know what I mean? Just kidding. But anyways, so they put their stuff up. They upload it to iFilm, heavy.com. Here's one of the cool things. You got to remember, back in like 2000, movie producers, music, they were terrified. You talk about getting blocked because of like copyright violation. We don't even think of it now. You just put on the internet. The internet's like the Wild West. Yep. Back then, they were so scared of people stealing it, not paying iTunes or paying for the VHSs and the DVDs and all that stuff. They were like blocking everything. One of the things that helped them grow and spread on the internet was they made everything Creative Commons. Everybody could post to their blogs, put it on their websites. They could repost it, all that stuff. And they created a show called The Lonely Island. The first episode of their show was called White Power.
No,
they're three white dudes, by the way.
Yeah, naturally.
And naturally.
Well,
I mean, they were naturally born white guys. That's what you meant by that.
Yeah.
So it was the title White Power is centered around a tooth whitening commercial.
No.
Called White Power.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's funny.
I did not know that.
But that's the thing. They were super ahead of their time for that. Kiefer Sutherland made a special appearance.
Where is he?
Now or then?
When have you seen? Well, what's the last thing he was on? Designated Survivors. Last.
Oh yeah, I remember that. We watched some of that for a couple seasons.
Yeah, I didn't make it 2 episodes.
It was fun.
Okay.
It was great. It was whatever. It changed very rapidly. After like 2 seasons, it was like a national TV show, and then after like season 3 or 4, it got sold to maybe Netflix or somebody. Oh yeah. And then they like started dropping F-bombs randomly. And it was really weird seeing the characters you'd been watching.
Yeah.
Not cuss.
They turned.
And they was like, oh, this is amped up a bit.
Odd.
It's like in a PG-13 movie when they drop the one bad word.
They get one.
And it's like, ooh, that felt off because I just watched an hour of you not saying that.
Yep.
Anyways, Kiefer Sutherland was in it, but only because they were filming a scene where a guy was getting beaten up on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And Kiefer Sutherland stopped his car to help and save the guy he thought was getting beaten up.
No.
He wasn't in it.
You're serious.
He just thought somebody was getting hurt, so he stopped to save him. And this is like in the middle of like 24 and all that.
And they kept it in.
And they kept it in. They were like, they stopped and freeze framed on it and said, this is Kiefer Sutherland.
That's amazing.
So
odds of that.
Yeah. So then they started doing, fun fact, whenever they did this, they had to convert their video to VHS because it wasn't high speed enough to put on the internet. Like internet wasn't high speed enough to upload.
No.
So they had to convert it to VHS. So it's like a lot of that grainy, like not full frame footage is because they did a lot of that. They're filming it old school.
Did they have Charlie Sheen converting him over to VHS?
Yes.
That's the only role that he could have been doing at that time. Isn't he brothers with
Charlie
Sheen?
Sheen?
Emilio Estevez
Yeah,
and Charlie Sheen. It's not Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah.
Is he brothers with them?
I feel like the three of those guys were brothers. They
They're
tried
the Lonely
to be
Island,
Lonely Island
sequel. Yeah. They were the second best trio.
So it's Kiefer Sutherland and Charlie Sheen are brothers. I don't know how Emilio
Estevez and Charlie Sheen are brothers.
Yeah, they are. But it's not Kiefer Sutherland. No, it's Donald Sutherland's son. Never mind. Forget
The
it.
Mighty Duck Man. Swear to goodness.
That's all. That's the only thing.
It's a
he knows
story
about.
from a movie. It doesn't matter. Okay, so then they start. I'm just going through rapid fire
like it.
through this.
I like it.
This is my Mount Everest.
I love it. This is way better than Mount Everest.
Not true. Mount Everest is way more interesting.
Well, a lot of people die up there.
Wow.
But not here.
Nope.
They just get lonely.
These career. That's an island. It's a lot less cold. Everybody got their toesies. So they started producing for a thing called Channel 101. It's like a once a month thing that I think Dan Harmon was involved with it. And they would produce and like these sketch things. They had a show, speaking of the